What is up, guys? Welcome everyone to a new gold making video. So in this one I'm gonna be showing you one of the most interesting transmog gold farms that you can be doing at the moment, and probably one of the best old content transmog gold farms that you can do when it comes to gold per hour, right? Because the amount of gold that you can do here is very hard to quantify. It's actually complicated because you're gonna be getting a lot of items. A lot of them are going to be like 5k, 10k, 20k, and it varies a lot depending on your realm, right? But this farm is really easy to be making around 80k plus per hour with the average of the loot, and this is, by the way, doing it solo, right? You could be doing way more if you actually just bring one person to this with you, and if you don't have any other person to do this with you, do not worry, because I'm gonna be showing you a method that is gonna allow other people to join your farming group, right? So yeah, having said all of this, let's take a look at some of these items on the auction house. By the way, unrelated, but I absolutely love the plants, how they look with these shiny effects, right? They look really, really beautiful, especially at night like this, right? Yep. Anyways, so here are the items, right? These are not all the items. There are way too many items for me to list them all. It would be a bit too long, right? But as you can see, there are quite a lot of them. I'm gonna actually equip all of them so you can have an overall look of how these are looking. As you can see, it's an interesting transmog set with some reefs, you know, like kind of like ocean related transmog stuff. It's something that you don't see usually, right? It's relatively special in that sense, right? And of course it is special the fact that all these items are all of them unique appearances, right? Which are quite valuable for collectors, right? But yeah, first of all, I want to say, these items do not have a lot of competition on the auction house. As you can see, I'm on the biggest realm on the Horde in the US region as of now, okay? And you can see that these items pretty much they are like, you know, 1, 1, 1, 0, right? There are not really that many available, right? There are very few. So especially if you are on like the average realm and one that is not that extremely populated as mine, I can tell you, you are going to be able to have no competition in a lot of these items. And overall, that's a really good thing, because that's going to allow you to set the price to something that you want, instead of just having to follow the price in a lot of cases, because, you know, somebody posted at 2k and maybe you wanted to post it at 10k, right? So yeah, I'm going to give you a little bit of overall advice on how to properly sell these items, okay? So first of all, these are green items. You're going to be getting a lot per hour. It's hard to tell. It's kind of RNG, right? But easily you're going to be making solo at least between 10 and 30 of them per hour, okay? So that's a lot, right? So for that reason, I wouldn't recommend you to be really, really greedy and be like, wow, I'm gonna, you know, take this item and I'm gonna sell it for like this guy is trying to do, right? For like actually almost 100k. I wouldn't do this. I think that's too much, right? What I would recommend you is somewhere between 5k and 20k, but for the most part between 5k and 10k. And let me tell you, even at those prices, the amount of gold that you're gonna do is absolutely crazy, as long as you eventually manage to sell them, which, to be fair, this is an old content transmog item farm, and as usual with this type of farms, they do sell slow, right? You have to be patient. This is not the ideal type of farm if you just want to get a token the next week in order to, you know, continue playing the game or whatever without paying, right? It's not that type of farm. This type of farm is going to take really long time to make sales, but when you make the sales eventually, the amount of gold per hour that you're going to make out of this is going to be crazy, right? So yeah, making that clear, yeah, somewhere around 5k to 10k is what I would recommend you for these items, right? Now, this is for the average, right? Like for the average, or to be fair, rather for the type of realm that is relatively populated, okay? Not extremely populated like mine, but relatively populated. If you're on a realm that is like with without too much population, I'll recommend you to try and sell the prices a bit higher, you know, like maybe 20k. Probably max of 30k. I will not be trying to sell any of these items for more than 30k. I think that's too greedy, right? But yeah, that's pretty much the price recommendation for the items, right? Now, another thing I want to mention you about this gold farm. You are also going to be getting a lot of raw gold, right? If you are doing this solo, if you're farming this solo, you are still going to be making around 2k gold, 2k raw gold per hour, which is pretty good. You know, it's going to make you a decent amount if you want to cover reapers and stuff like that, and it is nice, right? Little extra. And then if you could do a group, this could be much more, right? Like if you're doing a group of like 5 people, you can get up to 12k gold per hour just from the raw gold, and then think of the amount of transmog that you will be getting if you have a full group, right? Because in case you don't know, up to 5 players in a group, the way the loot works in the game is basically it's gonna generate for each of the mobs that you guys killed, any of you, okay? The mob is gonna generate loot for each of the players, right? So in simple words, the more people you have on the group, up to a limit of 5, is going to basically give more loot for literally everyone in the group, okay? So for that reason, I'll recommend you to try and do a group and eventually try to add some people that you see often farming with, you know, like you are often farming with people, you can add them to friends and you can invite them anytime you are farming and stuff like that. That's what I recommend you to do, right? So how do you do this? You go here to the green icon, right, where it says bottom right, where it says group finder, and you go to private groups and you go to custom, and you go to start a group, and you can put something like this or something similar to this, right? Nadhatar Transmog Gold Farm, right? And as long as you put Transmog Gold Farm, a lot of people are gonna be interested in this, and they're gonna eventually want to join, and eventually you'll get somebody, right? Now, basic tip for this, basic advice, try to do this when there's a lot of people playing on the server, right? Try to not you know, farm where basically there's nobody, right? Because when there's nobody, of course, it's gonna be harder, right, to find farmers, right? But yeah, yeah. Having said all of that, let's take a look at the location where we are gonna be farming this, and I'm also gonna give you like little brief of how you can easily access this area. Okay, so initially I thought you could make a trick with like the teleport to Wraith. And then you can basically do a little thing which is teleport to your housing plot and then go back, and then it will put you out of the Wraith and then it will take you to the place. But the thing is, that trick which I have shown on many videos, I don't think it works here, right? So I'm gonna give you like little guide of how to unlock this area, because this is an area from the Battle for Azeroth expansion. Is one that you are supposed to do a certain quest line in order to unlock it, right? So how do you actually unlock it? Well, the best way to know what you need to do in order to unlock it is you download an add-on from CurseForge that is called BTW Quests, or the abbreviation of, by the way, quests, right? You go look up that add-on, it has different versions for each of the expansions. The one you want is the one for the Battle for Azeroth expansion. And basically you're gonna be able to open it and you're gonna be able to write, like, it has like a search option, you write Nadhatar, and then there you're gonna be able to be like, okay, what am I missing? You know, it's gonna tell you exactly what quest you need to do next. In my case, I solved it. It took like 2 minutes, like literally 2 minutes in order to be able to get here. So it's really, really fast, right? From what I have seen. Now, to be fair, I have to see how it is when it comes to actually coming back, because I just unlocked, right, and I came here to the video. I'm not entirely sure if I need to do some more to keep the area, you know, unlocked some portal or something. But either way, this is like very, you know, very quick to do, right? But yeah. Now, having said all of that, you're gonna come here to Nadhatar, specifically to the place between these two lakes, right? Yeah, the place between these two lakes. And basically I'm gonna fly up, because it's a bit tricky to see. And as you can see, it's kind of like hidden in a cave, right? Because if you go outside, you'll basically see nothing, right? You'll basically see like a lot of these rocks, right? And apparently there's nothing, but there's actually quite a lot of interesting stuff here, as you can see, right? So yeah, this area is relatively big. I'm gonna turn on the nameplate so you can see all the enemies that are all around here. These are level 50 enemies. You're gonna be able to instantly farm them, right? Like really easily, basically, without any special requirements when it comes to GR, any profession, nothing like that. You just come, start hitting the mobs, they're gonna die, right? By the way, even if you don't have the Midnight expansion, you can still farm this, right? And it's going to be completely fine, right? So this is really good if you don't have the Midnight expansion and you're looking for ways to make decent gold. This is for sure one of the best ways, right? As you can see, a lot of these mobs are giving me, you know, decent amount of gold. They're giving like 3, you know, 2. Yeah, sure, it might not sound like a lot, but if you're farming a lot of this, then all of that is gonna add up, you know. And then you're also gonna be getting some grey items, which some of them are worth like, you know, 1 gold as well, and so on. So you're gonna be able to make, as I was saying, pretty decent amount of raw gold from this, right? So yeah. Also, the area is relatively big, so for that reason, I think it's better if you farm this on a group. But like, even if you don't farm this on a group, it's still relatively decent, because I know it's not really that easy to find a group nowadays. But what I'll recommend you to do, again, is to do that, right? Post the group, wait for people to join. When somebody joins, check if they are actually decent at farming, if they are not like slacking all the time, right? They are not AFK all the time, that type of stuff. And once you do that, you can just right click, add them to friends, send them a friend request, and then you can make like your list of like eventually over time 5 players, 10 players, 20 players, and then that's the best thing you can do, because once you are trying to connect, right, to farm, you just check the friend list, and out of those 20 people, there's a really good chance that there's maybe like 5 of them connected or 4 connected, and then maybe out of those 5 or 4, maybe 2 join, right? And then you already have like a group of 3 people, which is way more efficient than farming it alone, right? So that's probably the best advice I can give you when it comes to this type of group farms, right? But yeah, having said all of that, I absolutely love this area. Looks really beautiful. I like the idea that it's like hidden under a cave. I really like the plants, like these purple plants, right? And yeah, by the way, these ones are not mobs that they are specifically holding something extremely valuable. It's rather the fact that they are really, like, they basically have a decent density, right? You can see there are quite a lot of them in here, and they have the loot table, right? The loot table of this area, which by the way is only, like, there's a lot of items that are only specific to this area, and guess what? A lot of people will not have this area available, and they will want to buy the items, right? So yeah, you can see I really love the architecture of this area. It looks absolutely beautiful, and the fact that it's hidden under a cave, because you don't actually see any of this from outside. I think they really made a really good job on the design of this area. But yeah, that's pretty much the video, guys. I hope you found the video useful. Do not forget to consider leaving a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a good day. Bye bye.